You've seen the TV shows.
A lot of designers will say, hey, the contractor's coming on Tuesday, make sure your bedroom is cleaned out by then. We have the organizing team go in and do all of that for the clients.
I do always recommend that my clients have 10 to 20% over what we've budgeted for those happenstance where you uncover something. And I always say we work while you winter.
We love working in New England homes because you never know what you're going to get.
At the end of the day, tech should enhance the home, not fight against it. An 85-inch TV would fit there? Let's go.
We have great trade partners that will build pretty much anything that we ask them to.
My philosophy for design has always been that it should be timeless.
We take inventory of all of their items.
This region has embraced contemporary design in the last 5 to 10 years.
We get a lot of requests for some interesting and fun things that we find solutions for.
Hi, my name is Craig Strok and I'm with Better Living Real Estate, and I'm here today with Kayla Knox and Shawn Strok from DesignOrganizeGather Corporation. They are a luxury home improvement brand that specializes in everything from design to renovation to professional organization work. And I'm privileged to have them here today to answer some questions that you had. We're going to start off with a question for Shawn. The Northeast is known for its high quality, long-lasting style. How do you define a contemporary classic look for this region in 2025? And what's your strategy for ensuring that that design still feels relevant 15 years from now?
Well, I'm glad that you asked that question, Craig, because I used to call myself the designer for the decade, because my philosophy for design has always been that it should be timeless, and that in 10 years, like these designer sheets that we once owned, you should still love it and not really want to change it. And so it might take you even 5 more years to change something. Enduring design is really important, especially I think in the Northeast. We are a people who really treasures memories and found items, curated items. In luxury homes, many of the people have traveled. They might have some heirlooms that they want to take care of. They might have some wine collections, just history. I mean, this is a very historic area. And so even our homes might have a historical story that we want to maintain. But how do we make it contemporary? This region has embraced contemporary design in the last 5 to 10 years, which has been really great for me because it was so traditional for so many years. We are returning a little bit to tradition, but it's more the timelessness of it. And so in 2025, people are still asking in New England for light, bright, and yet cozy homes. And so what does that look like? It's really about uncovering what that means for each person. And so we really lean into the lifestyle of the person that we're working with, as well as the people that are living in the home, as well as pets and any other interesting things like maybe working from home or whatever. And so we try to just really incorporate our designs seamlessly. The white kitchen is definitely not a thing anymore. However, we do love to open up a kitchen, kind of like the one you see in back of us, that has white tops and then, maybe a darker base cabinet. And we've been seeing natural woods like walnut and oak coming back in to kitchens, but in a new way. And we'll have some examples for you to share of some recent renovations that we've done. And so I'm excited for you to be able to share that as well.
Okay. So Kayla, next question. What types of specialty spaces do your clients tend to want to do work on?
Well, a lot of our clients have interesting and unique needs for their spaces. A lot of clients have asked for wine rooms that include Euro caves. Sometimes they've asked for wellness spaces that include steam showers and a home gym. They have a lot of hobbies too that include the need for adding in closet space or something else to be able to store their specialty items. So we get a lot of requests for some interesting and fun things that we find solutions for.
I guess there the challenge becomes, how do you work with that space and integrate those specialty spaces in a seamless way so that they end up looking intentional and elevated rather than just feeling like it's a kind of a tacked on extra?
Yeah, a lot of what we have the privilege of doing is getting to integrate these systems during the planning phase. So we get to put in solutions that are built in. We do a lot of built-ins as storage solutions. Like I mentioned, wine rooms. We got to design in Euro caves and create a proper wine room that included the refrigeration systems, temperature control. We take inventory of all of their items so that way we are able to create these solutions and have every single item stored so none of it is left out. And I think that's a big part of what we do and how we integrate things into these clients' homes is we make sure that everything has a place from both a design perspective and an organizing perspective.
Nice. Thank you. So, Shawn, in some of the older homes that you tend to see around this area, the tech needs to disappear, right? So how do you coordinate with an AV specialist and a builder to ensure that all the panels and the interfaces and the cabling, all those things are well concealed within the millwork and the cabinetry so that everything looks clean and resolved? A little bit of a challenge, I would imagine.
Yes and no. As long as the client's willing to go through the process, which many don't think about that when they're first approaching a renovation or even a design project, but they'll say, oh, gee, I really would love a brand new TV. And there's just so many great TVs out there now that even display artwork all day long while they're off. And so we work with Completely Custom LLC down in Kingston, Rhode Island, and they have an AV team that is bar none the best out there. And so we always bring them in right at the beginning of the project so that it's part of when we're putting together the estimates that we've got a quote for AV. Even if the client says, oh, I don't really need that, we'll get a quote anyway, because as it goes along, it's just kind of like, huh, an 85-inch TV would fit there? Let's go. We use custom millwork, like you said, to hide everything. A lot of times, it is a very aesthetic piece of the room that we're designing. And so we'll use wood, we'll use wallpaper. We've used a lot of materials, even metal, to just make those areas really seamless and beautiful and yet have amazing sound. As far as shades go, we're always offering now power shades and draperies so that things can be pre-programmed to close down at night and open up in the morning at certain times. What else are we doing? The TV box is built into the wall. When we're designing the cabinetry, we're making it so everything can just kind of get right in there, and you never have to touch it. The other thing is that, again, in these old houses as well, we might find a closet or a niche somewhere to store all that AV. So you have this command central, but it's nowhere near the TV or your stereo. And then another thing I'll say about technology is that now so many things are wireless. And you can add on, especially with the Sonos system, you can add on speakers and other features as time goes by if you decide you want more.
Just in modular fashion.
Exactly. And it is great. We recently put one into a septuagenarian's home, and with an 85-inch TV and the sound surrounding, they are just loving watching, football and baseball games and stuff like that. And it's completely transformed their viewing experience. They didn't know what they didn't know. And I think that is the thing with most of our clients is we have to bring all of these items to them and at least suggest that they consider it. At the end of the day, tech should enhance the home, not fight against it, and we definitely, it's just an absolute must at DOG that happens.
I like that last statement. Enhance the home.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, Kayla, a question for you. When a client needs more function and storage, but they don't want to trade off the integrity of the home or the historic spirit of the home, how do you achieve that balance with the need to modernize with what they want to preserve?
Well, we love working in New England homes because you never know what you're going to get. Some of them may be historic and some may be new builds or your average colonial. Anytime that we enter a new home and we're dreaming up storage solutions for that home, we always make sure that whatever we're putting in the home will match. So whether it's something that we're purchasing like a storage shelf or we're having it custom built, we look at different things like the molding or the trim, and we make sure that it goes with the rest of the house. So it doesn't look like an afterthought. It looks like it belongs in the home. It kind of preserves that integrity. We have great trade partners that will build pretty much anything that we ask them to. So we're able to find solutions like that that will match the home no matter what we're doing.
Fantastic. Thank you. Here's the last question for you too. This one's a two-parter. So first part for Shawn. When you're juggling multiple high-end vendors and trade partners and complex installations, as you're often doing, how do you keep the project moving along efficiently?
I think it all starts with the planning process. We plan out the whole design and the project. We work with all those vendors to talk through even like their thoughts on things to make sure that we're not avoiding any pitfalls that we didn't see. And then we do have a customer management system that it's pretty comprehensive where, we can put in daily logs for the client to see every single day. We can put pictures into it. They can look at their designs. So the client can be informed as to what's going on every single day, especially when they might be at their house on Cape Cod while we're doing a summer project, or they may be in another location for the winter for a couple of months where it's warmer. And I always say, we work while you winter. And so, while they're someplace else, they can be seeing that project taking form. And also, obviously, I talk to them. It's pretty high touch. I talk to them a lot. But I also work with the contractors. I'm on site every single day, at least for a half an hour. And if there's any questions that come up or any unexpected things that they've uncovered where we find out that possibly they need, some sort of work done that we didn't anticipate, that we're able to problem solve right in the moment and just take care of it. And, on that note, I do always recommend that my clients have 10 to 20% over what we've budgeted for those happenstance where you uncover something and say, oh, gee, we really need to address this. I'm going to say, you've seen the TV shows. It pretty much happens on every project. There's something. What we uncovered recently was a window that had been dripping down into the wood floor. And when we pulled up the wood floor, we uncovered this water damage that nobody knew was there. It's things like that. Just really high touch with the vendors and high touch with the client and using technology to help us with that.
Great. And so for in those situations, Kayla, where you don't have a client that's necessarily going to be wintering down in Florida or on the Cape or up in the Lakes region or, somewhere else overseas, they're going to be in the home. How do you go about minimizing the daily disruption and the intrusion to the client while they're still using the home?
Well, a lot of it is because of the team that we have and because of the organizing side of what we do. A lot of designers will say, hey, the contractor's coming on Tuesday, make sure your bedroom is cleaned out by then. So you're there over the weekend, packing up all your stuff, lifting the furniture, taking it out of the room, and you're exhausted come Monday. So we have the organizing team go in and do all of that for the clients. So we'll go in, we'll pack everything up for them, get all the furniture moved, and we even set them up with a temporary closet or office or whatever the space is that we're doing so that it's organized and all laid out for them. And that way they're disrupted as little as possible because we know that renovations can be very tricky and a little uncomfortable to live in. So we try to make it as comfortable as possible.
Well, thank you both so much. Appreciate you being here and answering all these questions. Hope that it's been a help to all of you. And we'll look forward to joining you on the next one. Bye.